Alright, greetings to all of you guys. This piece of music, by the way, Hassan Albadri with you, atheist, anti-theist, etc., etc. This piece of music is called Walls of the Flowers by the composer Tchaikovsky. Okay, Walls of the Flowers by Tchaikovsky. So if you want to search for it and to hear it. So we go to Mr. Mr. Zakir Naik. The video is titled Why Pork is Haram. Zakir Naik, best answer. IslamResearch.org. Alright? So, basically the video starts by a lady asking, asking a Christian lady, she's asking Zakir, why is it haram and why is it like that? While when we use the manure, the poo, let's say, of the pig, to give it to a tree as a manure, the tree is going to grow anyway and it's going to give the same fruits as any other, etc., etc.
My name is Janilda and I'm a Christian. Since a long time I've been having conflicts with myself. The questions that I would like to ask today are mostly maybe assumptions or things where I've been influenced from people. My first question, it's about pig. Basically, I would like to know what exactly is the meaning of haram. For a religion like Islam, it won't accuse anyone of being wrong, yeah? It wouldn't say something to be so wrong. Why is pig haram? Because I had attended a Christian convention, and over there it was told, there was this priest who was saying that why is pork haram in Islam? He gave an example, saying that the same rubbish, it was used as manure for the plants. The plants, supposing it was a mango tree, the mango grew, the roots had absorbed the same nutrients. The same rubbish, it grew into mango, and we consume it. So how is it different from consuming it in pork and the mango?
This was a question that what is the meaning of haram and why is pork haram in Islam? And she gave the example of the priest, a Christian priest who said that manure, which is dirt and filth, is used by the tree grows, and then mango comes and we eat mango. Trying to say that even if you eat the filth of the pork, it may be good for someone else, may not be good for others. That's what it means to say. So in Islam it's haram, but Christianity it's allowed. Sister, first I will tell you the meaning of haram means prohibited, means forbidden. Haram in Islam means prohibited, it means forbidden. I will answer your question of the priest first, and then I'll come to the real reason why pork is haram. The priest gave the example that manure is supposed to be dirt and filth, is healthy for the tree, and when the tree grows, it gives mango and we eat the mango. Trying to say that maybe it's haram for Muslims, but good for Christians. If you compare the manure, which is filth for the human beings, it may be good for the plants, because plants and human beings are two different beings. They aren't the same. They are different. But in Islam and Christianity, the human beings are the same. You may follow different religions, but what is good for one human being as a general thing is good for the other human being, unless he has certain problems. For example, if he has diabetes, then sugar may not be good for him, but normally sugar is good. It gives you energy. Unless he has some problem, then it may not be good for him. But as far as general human beings are concerned, the rule for all the human beings, what is good and bad, is the same. So you can't give the example of manure is good for some and not good for others. What we have to see, we have to go to the guide. What does the guide tell us? And we'll try and analyze what does the guide tell us. The guide in Christianity, it is the Bible. The guide in Islam is the Quran. When we read the Quran, there are no less than 4 different places where the Quran says pork is prohibited. Allah says in the Quran, in Surah Baqarah chapter 2 verse 173, in Surah Ma'idah chapter number 5 verse number 3, in Surah Anam chapter number 6 verse number 145, and Surah Nahl chapter number 16 verse number 115, Hurrimat alaykumul maytatu waddamu walamun khinzir, wama uhilla li ghayrillah bi. Forbidden for you for food are dead meat, blood, the flesh of swine, and any food on which any name besides Allah's name is taken. So your Quran says in no less than 4 different places that eating the flesh of pig, pork, is prohibited. Similarly, if you read the Bible in no less than 3 different places says pork is prohibited. Bible says in the book of Leviticus, chapter number 11, verse number 7 and 8, that thou shalt not eat the flesh of swine, nor touch its carcass. It's unclean for you. A similar message is given in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter number 14, verse number 8. Though the swine has cloven foot, and it chews not the cud, it is unclean for you. Similarly, it's mentioned in the book of Isaiah, chapter number 65, verse number 2 to 5, that you should not have the flesh of swine. So Bible says in no less than 3 different places that you should not have the flesh of swine. And Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, said in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter number 5, verse number 17 to 20, that think not that I have come to destroy the law of the prophets. I have come not to destroy but to fulfill. For anyone who breaks one of the least commandments shall be called least in the kingdom of heaven. That means if you break one law, one jot or tittle from the Old Testament, you shall not enter Jannah. So as a Christian, if you believe in the Bible, then eating pork is prohibited for you, is forbidden for you, is haram for you. If you are a Muslim, if you believe in the Quran, it is prohibited. If you do not believe in the Bible or do not believe in the Quran, let's analyze what does today's reason and logic and science say about pork.
Okay, we stop you here. By the way, I do eat pork. Alright? I love bacon. Really, I love crispy bacon. I love it. Sometimes I use also ham on my sandwiches. Sausages, you know. I don't mind, really. And when I go to a restaurant, I don't mind when they present me a meat dish. I don't ask, what kind of meat is it? Is it pork? Is it a cow? Is it a lamb? I don't care, really. That's first, just a disclaimer from myself. Secondly, it's really weird from a Muslim who claims, the Muslims always claim that the Torah, the Old Testament, and the Bible, the New Testament, they say it's corrupted. It's corrupted. It's manipulated. It's not true. There is some faulties in it. There is some lies in it. They always mention that. But then again, we see the beautiful cherry-picking fallacy and logic, which you cherry-pick. Some stuff, you cherry-pick it, you take this stuff, and then you use it for your own argument when it suits you. Just like when it suits you, you went to the Torah. Of course, for Jews, pork meat is prohibited. Yes. Not only pork, by the way. Even anything with a shell. Anything from seafood that has a shell is also prohibited for them. So even the crab, the lobster, really many other stuff from the seafood. So now you're using the Torah for your argument. But Jesus, it is true that Jesus, Mr. JC, the son of Mary, it's true. He said, I didn't come to deny the Mosaic law, but I came to accomplish it, to complete it. But then from the same chapter, by the way, you mentioned Matthew, from the same exact chapter. That's the really beautiful thing, Mr. Zakir Naik. If you have studied theology, you should have been aware of it. But obviously you didn't study theology, because in the same chapter, the Jews confronted JC, confronted Jesus Christ, and they told him, hey, why are you eating pork? Man, what are you eating pork? This flesh defiles you. This flesh is wrong. This flesh is a sin. It defiles you, man. What's up with that? And JC told them, not what enters the mouth defiles a man, but what goes outside of it defiles a man. ليس ما يدخل الفم هو ما ينجس الإنسان بل ما يخرج من الفم هذا ما ينجس الإنسان. This one of the beautiful quotes from JC, from Jesus Christ. I really love it. really, really love this quote. I really love it. I take it also as a wisdom quote. Really, I love it. Because indeed, not what enters makes you dirty or immoral. It's what you say to other people that can make you immoral and dirty person. Now let's hear what you have to say about the scientific truth and logical truth. By the way, I'm allowed to mock Indians because I myself 3.6% Indian from my genetic tree. All right, so I'm allowed to mock that accent. I'm allowed. I'm allowed. It's also in my blood. But. All right. Let's talk about pork meat. Why is it makes you dirty and unhealthy? Let's talk about it. Let's see.
Today science tells us that if you have the flesh of swine, there are chances that you may have no less than 70 different diseases. You can have pinworm, you can have roundworm. The most dangerous amongst all these diseases, it is tapeworm. It's called as Taenia solium. And it harbors in the intestine and is very long. Even if you cook the food very well, the eggs, the ova of Taenia solium does not die. And from the intestine, via the bloodstream, it can go to almost all the organs of your body. It can enter the eye and cause blindness. It can enter the heart and cause heart attack. It can enter the brain and cause brain damage. And by the time you realize you're suffering from the disease, it's an irreversible damage done. Furthermore, today science tells us that when you eat pork, it is more of fat building material rather than muscle building material. That's the reason most of the people who are regular pig eaters, they have got tires, they have got flaps. Today science tells us that by eating pork, there are high chances of having atherosclerosis. Today science tells us that if you eat pig regularly, you may have hypertension. That's the reason more than 50% of the Americans today, they're suffering from hypertension because most of them are pig eaters.
No, not because most of them are pig eaters, okay? They have hypertension because most of them are obese. They are fat. Hypertension comes with fat naturally. If you are a pig eater or you're not pig eater. If you are cow eater or lamb eater, you're gonna have it. You're gonna have it. It's a fact, okay? It's a fact, man. It's a fact. Any fat person, regardless if he eats only hummus and falafel, or if he eats only rice, or if he eats only chicken, or if he eats only lamb, or if he eats only cow, okay, and calf, okay, or if he eats pork, when he gains weight, when he becomes overweight, hypertension comes naturally with it. It got nothing to do with pig eating. I swear it got nothing to do with pig eating. Got nothing to do with it. Seriously. But yeah, I'm waiting for the bomb at the end here. Really, the bomb at the end, the bombshell at the end that he drops. It's really beyond beyond science fiction.
Today science tells us that one of the most filthiest animal on the face of the earth is the pig. Wherever you find dirt and filth, you'll find the pig there. Today science also tells us that pig is one of the most shameless animal on the face of the earth. Pig today is one of the most shameless animal on the...
Pig is shameless animal. So there is the definition of honor and shame, okay, and shy. There is the definitions inside the pig head, inside the pig brain. They have those definitions. Really, Mr. Zakir Naik? Really, Mr. Dr. Naik? Really? Are you talking seriously right now? Are you trying to pull me? You trying to pull my leg? You're trying to pull my leg, don't you? Mr. Zakir Naik, you deserve this meme. Seriously.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god. Stop fucking lying.
Okay, so stop fucking lying, Mr. Zakir Naik, really. But anyway, continue.
Of the earth, it enjoys seeing its spouse, seeing its mate have sex with his friend. In the Western countries, you have dance parties. After dance party, we are swapping of wives. You sleep with my wife, I sleep with your wife. Do you think it's modest? And there is a scientific thing that you eat pig and you behave like pig.
There is a scientific thing. There is a scientific thing. If you eat pig, you become like pig. Where is this scientific evidence? I want to see this study. Where is it? If you eat pig, he becomes like pig? All right. Wow. Wow. This is, and you call this science? Scientific?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my god, stop fucking lying.
Stop fucking lying, Mr. Zakir Naik. By the way, let's mention some benefits of the pig, of pork, besides eating. By the way, humankind, humanity, we benefit a lot from pork. It doesn't necessarily have to be only food-wise. We benefit from the hair of pig. From the hair, they use all those natural paint brushes. The hairs is of pig because it can endure harsh environments. From the bone marrow of pig, we can take out the substance that people use it in cosmology, in cosmetics, in cosmology, in Botox, etc., etc., the collagen, etc., etc. They use it from the pig extracts. The dust of the pig bones, they use it to form a train brakes. Okay, they burn the pig bone, the pork bone, they burn it, they make it as a coal, and then they dust it, and they literally squash it, make it as a dust, and that dust they collect it together, treat it with some material, and they make it as the train brakes, which Germany is using right now, actually. Really ecological, natural train brakes. Other than that, the shampoos and the soap, they take it also from the pig skin and the pig bone marrow. And the gelatin, when you go to bakeries and you see the gelatines, actually most of those actually are from pig extracts. What else? Many products that got the big extracts because it becomes more appealing. All right, it gives this glance. Like Oreo cookies, by the way. Oreo cookies, it contains pig extracts. Oreo cookies. Cheerios, you know that cereal? Cheerios? They have also pig extracts in it. So cheers, brother. What else? You got really lots of benefits. Oh, by the way, insulin. Those insulin shots for diabetic people, 90% of it is from pigs. It's extracted from pigs. So I didn't see that 90% of diabetic people who take the insulin shots behave like pigs. Since when when you eat an animal, you become like him? And you say unshameful because he sees his wife getting screwed by his friend and he doesn't say anything. Well, there is a saying that I always used to tell it in Arabic, but I can also tell it in English. If your house is made of glass, don't cast a stone to others. It's actually you, Muslim people, unfortunately, you have that unshameful acts. One of them, unfortunately, when you divorce your wife 3 times, you can allow a friend of yours screw your wife, then she is rightfully yours. You can screw her again. Isn't that a law in Islamic religion or not? When somebody divorces his wife 3 times, he's not allowed to marry her a 4th time unless somebody comes marry his wife and screw her with 2 quotes, fuck her, okay, and divorce her, and then you're allowed to marry your wife again. Is that shameful act or not? Mr. Zakir Naik, tell me please, because here you're depicting you are the same as the pig. You are also watching your wife getting screwed by your friend and you don't say anything. You are here in the same position as as the pig. And by the way, please provide me those studies, guys. Please provide me those studies that those who eat pig, they're gonna behave and become like pigs. Because I haven't read such study. I haven't. It's really unscientific. It's really science fiction. I haven't read it. Really. So the wolf eats sheep, he becomes like a sheep. If the lion eats a gazelle, he becomes like a gazelle. If a human eats a cow, he becomes like a cow. If a human eats a lamb, he becomes like a lamb. I mean, what kind of nonsense and bullshit is that? Seriously, who are you trying to fool here? Who are you trying to fool? And why are you lying? Seriously. Like I really don't mind. I really don't mind if religious people, like, at least that's why I respect the Jews, really. Because the Jews, you know, they're gonna tell you, look, it's prohibited and that's it. Alright? We don't eat pork, we don't eat shellfish, alright? We don't eat etc, 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 and that's it. But at least the Jews, they don't come up with bullshit like you Muslims do. Okay? The Jews, they just gonna tell you, look, it's commandments and we're following it. Okay? That's it. It's commandments and we're following it. Rational, irrational, no questions asked. We're just following it. But you Muslims, you come, no, it's because the pig is a shameful animal. He really sees his wife getting screwed by his friend and he doesn't say anything. Well, you are unshameful animals in that sense, Mr. Zakir Naik, you Muslims. Of course, not all of you. But here, I'm targeting Zakir Naik. You are also unshameful yourself if you divorce your wife 3 times. Then you also allow your friend to screw her and you without saying a word. And then your friend divorce your wife and then you're allowed to marry your wife for the 4th time. After 3 times divorce. Is that a shameful act? Or not, Mr. Zakir Naik? Really? Come on, man. Seriously. Seriously. Just say it's prohibited, okay? It's prohibited. It's God's commandment. It's Allah's commandment. And that's it. No questions asked. Alright? Don't put the scientific stuff in it and unshameful animal and humans become like a... And really, and you use that argument out of ignorance, like really, because you make it like general, like the bandwagon logical fallacy. Because you just say, yeah, in the West, they are pig eaters, and after they party, they start swapping wives. That's actually a small fraction of the society, which we call also, there is a special term for them. We call them swingers. Alright? They are really small fraction of the society. Don't think that all the pig eaters are doing this. There is a very small fraction of a society that say, actually, yeah, let's swing our wives and husbands. Let's trade between each other. You know? I don't think also, by the way, and don't think also that the society is actually accepting this. I know Dutch friends, really, and I know Swedish friends, that they wouldn't do it. And by the way, they are pig eaters. They are pig eaters, pork eaters. But yet their dignity doesn't allow it. He says, I love my wife, I love my partner. I would never trade her with anybody. Even though they are pig eaters. Pork eaters. Yes, I swear they are pork eaters. Mr. Zakir Naik. And again, by the way, as I told you, I am allowed to mock the Indian accent because I am Indian myself with a small fraction. 3.6%. Haha. So anyway, that's all, folks, for this video. The next video is going to be in Arabic, and the video after it is going to be in Arabic too. As usual, cheers, love, and respect. Kisses to you.